Hello, good morning. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new, hello, welcome. Today I'm going to talk about the biggest stereotypes that are talked about in Spain that actually are not true and the farthest thing from, and a lot of myths that you will come across that have nothing to do with living in Spain. There was a lot of things I was super ignorant about, like had no idea, coming from little Omaha, Nebraska, and I'm pretty sure there's some other people out there that are probably very ignorant about Spain. A lot of these myths are just not true, so I want to help you guys know what myths and stereotypes are true about Spain and what are completely just ridiculous. Okay, so let's get started with the video. The first biggest myth I encountered in Spain is I just expected it to be beautiful beach weather every day, 365 days of the year, where sunny all the time, and that's like the main reason I left. I really chose Spain over many other countries because I thought it was gonna be super sunny. And the fact is, it's just not true. Like in winter, it gets pretty cold. Like if you're in the city center in Madrid, it does snow sometimes, but it doesn't stick because of all the pollution. But it gets cold. Like you need gloves and a big scarf, and that's like 5 months out the year that it's pretty cold. If you live in the north of Spain, you might not even see many sunny days at all. It's actually very rainy and very cold weather like England. So if you're looking for sunny days all year round, definitely the south of Spain, but Madrid or the north of Spain is definitely not beach weather 24/7, nor close to that. But I will say in Madrid it doesn't rain very often. Okay, the next big myth I had no idea about moving to Spain is that they have 5 different languages in Spain, if not more. I had no idea. I just thought that you go to Spain, you learn Spanish, and that's it. But actually, depending on where the region you live in, you might need another language, or you might be hearing another language. So some of the most popular languages that you will hear in Spain is Catalan, which is in Barcelona and Catalonia, and that I was expecting more of like kind of like an ancient language that they used their grandparents speak, but not people don't speak every day. But people actively speak Catalan in Barcelona and throughout Catalonia. So if you are living in Barcelona, it's very advised that you learn Catalan to blend more with the locals and be more part of the culture. Another language is Galician. In Galicia, they have different dialects once you're there, but they have their own language. Galician is very similar to the Portuguese language because of their history and being so near to Portugal. So if you're living there, you might hear that very often. Another language I heard was when I was in the Basque country. They have their own language, Basque, and it's completely different from any language I've ever heard. It's completely different from Spanish. You might go to Basque country and feel like you're in another country because there's lots of things written in Basque and it's not anything similar to Spanish. The last most popular language is Aranese. Of course, you can use Castellano or Spanish throughout the peninsula of Spain, but if you're actually living in Galicia or Basque country or Barcelona, you're definitely going to be hearing more of their language, and maybe you should also try to learn it yourself. Another tip is don't ever say that it's a dialect of Spanish. They will get very angry at you. They're actually completely separate languages. Okay, this is a huge myth that you have probably heard a million times, that Spanish people are lazy. This is something I hear all the time, and honestly, I don't feel like Spanish people work any less than other countries I've ever lived in. I feel like Spanish people work just as hard as other countries. I just think it's perceived as lazy because of the way they work. So you have probably heard of the famous siesta. Many people in the corporate environment don't have time to go home and take a nap, but a lot of them still are required to take a 2-hour lunch break. My boyfriend, for example, I always asked him, like, instead of taking a 2-hour lunch break, why don't you just take a 30-minute lunch break and leave and be home earlier instead of staying until 6 p.m. and have a 2-hour lunch break? But he said that's just how it is. That's how the culture is. That is how the company is. They're not gonna. There's no option. You have to stay until 6 p.m. or whatever the time. So I think they don't really use their time efficiently, and maybe it's not as productive. But I definitely don't consider them to work less hard, and I don't consider them to be lazy as well. This is a very very big myth that I thought about Spain, and I was actually quite disappointed. It is the flamenco dancing. I thought I was gonna come to Spain and everybody's gonna be twirling around the streets, dancing flamenco music all over the city, and people are just like over here dancing, over here dancing. But that is just not the case. Living in Madrid, I don't even know a single person that knows flamenco, and I know even fewer people that actually even like flamenco. The young people, they don't dance it, they don't like it, they don't listen to it, they actually hate it. You're not gonna find many flamenco dancers. And actually, going off that point, Spanish people in general don't really dance. When you go to a club or a party, it's kind of just like a two-step thing. It's not really dancing per se like you would see in the US. I was expecting like Latin dancers. Everyone's dancing like crazy. They're definitely more reserved and not really dancers as a whole. But if you do go down to the south of Spain, you will see flamenco dancers. Not that many, but you can find flamenco clubs and you can find shows, but it's definitely very touristy, and it's more of the history of Spain, not really current modern day life. Flamenco dancers are not that popular. People aren't just dancing flamenco in clubs. Another big myth that I thought before I came to Spain was the bullfights. I thought there was gonna be bullfights everywhere. I thought there was gonna be running of the bulls, just like in the street, just walking down the street to the market, and there was gonna be a bullfight. But actually, I was very, very happy to find out that many Spanish people have never been to a bullfight in their life, and even less people hate bullfights. They don't support it, they don't like it, and that made me very happy. And actually, bullfighting in Spain was illegal just a few years ago, and they re-legalized it. But the fact that it was illegal shows you that many people don't support it in Spain, and don't like it and don't agree with it. So bullfights, yeah, it's kind of like, it does happen, but it's a very old tradition. Maybe your grandparents go. Young people with a lot of morals don't really go to bullfights, but you can find them. The next myth is that Spanish men are alpha males and are macho men. No. The next myth is that Spanish people are always drinking sangria. Sangria is not a drink you're gonna find Spanish people drinking, okay? If you order a sangria, you can automatically just stamp foreigner on your head, or gringo, or giddy, because that is who order sangrias. Sangrias are not what Spanish people drink, okay? That's definitely very touristy. Like if you go to any pub crawl, they'll be like, sangria, sangria, because the only people that are at pub crawls are foreigners and Westerners. So, but Spanish people usually drink beer, cañas, things like that. So if you want to not feel like a foreigner, don't order a sangria as a tourist. You will know, they will start speaking to you in English. Another huge myth that I thought before coming to Spain was the Spanish food was going to be spicy like Mexican food. I had no idea. I just always knew Mexican food, Latin food. I had no idea that it was completely different food. There are no burritos, there's no tacos, there's no spicy food, okay? And I mean spicy food, I mean like spiced food. They don't even use many spices. It's very, very natural cooking, like olive oil and salt, and like that's it, okay? If you come from a country where they use a lot of spices and a lot of flavors, like the United States or maybe like India, you may think the food is very bland in Spain in the beginning. I thought the food was very bland. After staying for a while, my taste buds adapted, and I really did appreciate how natural the food tastes. But if you do plan on staying in Spain for a while, do prepare yourself that when you go back to eat spicy food, you're gonna feel like it's very spicy, even though before you could eat it all the time. Spanish food is not spicy whatsoever. They don't even use black pepper. Black pepper is even strange to add into cooking. Okay, can we talk about the tapas? Okay, I'm talking mainly for Madrid, because that's where I lived the last 2.5 years. Tapas are the biggest myth in Spain. Everybody thinks you're gonna come to Spain and you get a drink and you get a free tapa. And a tapa is, for anybody that doesn't know, it's like a little appetizer type food. People think you can just eat, drink, and get free food. Free tapas in Spain are very hard to come by. Very, very hard to come by, especially in Madrid. And if they are free, they're usually very crappy or the drinks are more expensive. I mean, like, I've had tapas where I'm like, oh, tapas bar, great. And then you get a drink and it's just like a little tiny little piece of bread, stale with some, like a little tiny little piece of tortilla, and that's it. And that's your tapa. So don't think you're gonna come to Spain and you're gonna get all these free tapas and they're gonna be so great. There are some bars like El Tigre where you can get big portions of shitty tapas and you get drunk, and it's a good deal if you're trying to go out on the town or whatever. But quality tapas and free tapas, it doesn't exist in Madrid. If you do go down to Cordoba, they do have a lot of quality free tapas when you order a drink, and that's really good. But in Madrid, forget about it. Just forget about it. Okay, for now, that's all that I can think of all the biggest stereotypes or myths I thought before coming to Spain that actually were not true whatsoever. And if you have any other myths that you thought of before coming to Spain, or you have other questions, put it down in the comments and I will reply to you. I try to reply to everybody that has a question or says something on my videos. Please give this video a thumbs up. I really do appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please click that subscribe button, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.